Hi, I'm Scott Singer from Singer RV Marine and Backup Power in Longwood, Florida. I have about 30 years experience working on RVs, generators, power inverters, solar equipment, and do a lot of other things as well. Today we're here to discuss a little bit about a power inverter and how it works for you in your RV. We're here with the power inverter. What a power inverter can do for you on your RV is a power inverter takes DC power, which is your batteries, and usually it'll be your house batteries. RVs have two sets of batteries. One is the engine starting battery, the other is your house battery, which runs all your accessories: lighting, general lighting, water pump, furnace, water heater, all these things, refrigerator, they need to have a house battery. The inverter is designed to take power from the house battery bank, and what it does is it takes DC power and creates electrical current. So if you want to turn on a television that is a television you maybe took from your home, you can do that with a power inverter. A power inverter is that equipment that allows you to run a microwave. It allows you to run a hair dryer. So this is kind of a important piece of equipment for a motorhome or a camper, but is not a necessity. It's just a elective piece that people might add. Power inverters are another source of a way to charge your battery on an RV, and of course it gives you electrical current from your batteries. Not all RVs have, or travel trailers have, a power inverter. A power inverter is an elective item that people can add, but there are manufacturers with smaller RVs and travel trailers that do install a smaller version of a power inverter. That might be considered a 400-watt inverter, just enough to run a bedroom TV and a living room TV, and sometimes an outlet in a bathroom. Now, this inverter that we're showing here is a 2,000-watt Magnum energy inverter. This inverter is the bad boy of the inverters. There are bigger inverters that they produce, but for argument's sake, most recreational vehicles are going to run with about a 2,000-watt inverter. The only reason you would need a 3,000 watt is if you were going to run an air conditioning, which is not usually recommended as it draws down your DC batteries tremendously. So you wouldn't be able to run it for a very long time. Therefore, the manufacturers mostly will put a 2,000 watt inverter in your RV. So this is going to be the most common one you might have. This guy here can pretty much do everything you want to do in a remote situation. If you're out camping, what's called dry camping, that is when you're out in the woods, you have no generator running, no electrical source, and you decide, I want to watch a movie, I want to have some fun, I want to make some popcorn. You turn this guy on and you get it all. It'll pretty much give you what you want to have. At the same time, you're like being in your living room and enjoying yourself, but you're out in nature. You're not creating any noise, any pollution, so you are really enjoying nature at its best. That's what people seem to want. Okay, how a power inverter works. Basically, you have a big cable going to your battery, which you'll find. That big cable is coming from your house battery bank, which usually consists of 2, maybe 4 batteries. Some cases, as my case, I have 8 batteries which run my power inverter. The power inverter takes this DC power into the unit. It converts it into AC power. That AC power, it then gets, it runs into your RV through an electric panel, just like your home panel. There's usually a circuit panel just for the inverter. If there's not, a lot of these companies will actually split the circuit panel, and half of the panel will be for shore power, half the panel will be for the inverter. Because as I said earlier, what happens is when you run power from the inverter and plug in a generator, that power transits through the inverter and goes to your electric panel as if you were running the same current from a house panel in the first place. So this is how you get the power, and it comes again from your house batteries, which are the batteries that run your RV. These are the batteries you'll find on a side compartment in most RVs. Some of them have them under the staircase when you open your door, your entrance door. You lift up a stairway, you'll find a set of batteries. This could be your batteries for your inverter. Do you own a power inverter? If you do, have you ever walked in and turned on the power inverter button, which is right here. Now your inverter comes on, all of a sudden you see all these other buttons. Oh gee, I have to push a button. That's what people like to do. You see buttons and you start wanting to push them. My recommendation is don't push anything you don't know what it's going to do. You don't need to over control the power inverter by just putting on the on-off button on most of the inverters that are installed on the RV. That's all you really need to know. When you plug in the shore power or start your generator, your inverter is going to take over and become a battery charger and pass that power through. So what I want you to do is do not push all the buttons unless you know what these buttons are going to do for you. There's a button here that says shore power. What that button is if you go over to your friend's house and say, hey, I want to stay the night. That's no problem, but you need power. They don't have power for RV. So you go to a standard outlet on the outside of their house and you plug in your extension cord, and all of a sudden what happens? Bam! Everything's gone. You have no power. They're complaining the power's out somewhere in their house. Most likely you blew the circuit breaker. So what you can do in this case is you can go to your inverter control. There's something called shore. You can push on this button that says shore. Maximum 30 amps comes up. You can actually turn this dial on the Magnum and turn it down to 20 amps, 15 amps, 10 amps. I would say probably 15 amps is a safe place to be. Most outlets on the outside of a house are going to be 20 amps. That's like the standard that everybody does for an outside of a home. If you go with the 15 amp setting, you're not going to blow the breaker. Maybe the owner's out, maybe they took a vacation, let you plug in. If you blow the breaker and you can't get in to turn it back on, you're kind of screwed. So the thing to do is set it to 15. You're going to charge your batteries at a slower rate than you normally would. You maybe won't be able to run everything you want to run at the same time, but you can milk it through and have a good time and enjoy your stay at your buddy's house. If you blow his power, he probably won't invite you back. So I suggest not doing that. Now enough about the inverters on the bench. I'm going to take you out and show you an inverter in a truck that I built for myself. This is just an off-road four-wheel drive street truck, and we'll see how it goes. Follow me. Now we're here in the shop where I'm going to show you the truck that I built. This is a four-wheel drive monster Peterbilt. It's got two power inverter systems and a generator. This is my power center that runs the vehicle. Just turn on the lights. I have a power inverter here that I can turn on, and that'll run some lighting that I have around the truck. That's just a quick way to show you how this inverter can work in a practical method. If we look up, I have some lighting around the truck. I'll turn on a switch, and that's going to actually turn on two 500 watt halogens on the back of the truck, which is not seen from this angle. I'll hit another switch, which turns on some halogens on the side of the truck that we could actually see. Right now I'm running 3,000 watts of lighting. There are 6 halogen lights running at 500 watts each. That is running on the inverter. I don't know if we could see it, but there's a DC amp meter right here. It's showing that we're pulling 300 amps DC, which is a tremendous amount of power. We're showing 11 volts DC. That is the same thing I was saying inside the tech room. I'm not concerned with this. It's in yellow, which means that it's less than green, which means our battery bank is showing that it's running low at this time. I can probably run this vehicle like this for about 8 or 10 hours without any problem at all. When I turn off the lights, my DC volts is going to come right back to 12 volts on the nose on the meter. What that means is, as I explained inside, actually now it's just climbed 12.5. What that means is you can pull heavy loads on an inverter. Don't be concerned about it. Enjoy the inverter. Use it as you normally would to get your power that you'd like to have. And when you're all done, you can check your battery supply. If it seems low, you can start up a generator, plug it in the shore power, and recharge your batteries. And that's it.